Good morning, class 10 students. As you have 4 or 5 chapters from chemistry part, so today I'll give you the fourth chapter, that is carbon and its compounds. So I'll give you a little bit of idea about this chapter, and I try to explain all the topics which are given in your book. Now, carbon and its compounds. Normally carbon compounds are called organic compounds. So before studying its compounds, first time you should know about the nature of carbon. As you know, the symbol of carbon is C and its atomic number is 6, you know, and its mass number is 12. I think you know about atomic number. Atomic number means nothing, number of protons. I mean carbon contain 6 protons and number of electron is also 6. So as you know, atom contain 3 fundamental particles: electron, proton and neutron. And to determine the number of proton, neutron and electron, atomic number is equal to the number of proton. And if the atom is neutral, I mean if the atom do not have any charge, positive or negative charge, then atomic number is equal number of electron also. So carbon contains 6 proton and 6 electron. Now to determine number of neutron, just you do 12 minus 6, I mean mass number minus atomic number. You will get 6 neutron. This is called mass number. Actually mass number means nothing, number of protons plus number of neutrons, that represent mass number. And when you symbolize one element, you have to symbolize the element like this way. Atomic number should be in this position, mass number should be in this position. Now, since the atomic number of carbon is 6, so its electronic configuration you can write like this: 2, 4. Already you have got in class 9. So since the configuration is 2, 4, these electrons are called valence electron or outermost shell electron. Now carbon contain 4 valence electron. As you know, if some electronic configuration contain 8 electrons in the outermost shell, for example, some electronic configuration is like this, suppose 2, 8. This type of electronic configuration which contain 8 electron in the valence shell, they are said to be the noble gas configuration, and the configuration is said to be stable. So now carbon contain 4 electrons in its valence shell, and due to presence of 4 electrons, its configuration is unstable. And to make it stable, every atom try to get the stable form. So to get the stability, what carbon will do? Carbon should release 4 electron, then 2 electron will remain, and that is the helium noble gas. Or carbon has to gain 4 electron, then the configuration become 2, 8, that is the neon electronic configuration. I mean, to get the stable configuration, to get the noble gas configuration, either carbon has to release 4 electron or carbon has to gain 4 electron. But do you know, carbon neither release 4 electron nor it gain 4 electrons. Do you know why? See, for example, this is one atom. I will explain why carbon cannot release electron. This is one atom, it is called sodium, and its atomic number is 11, and that's why its electronic configuration is 281. It contains 1 electron in its valence shell. Since it contains 1 electron in its valence shell, its electronic configuration also unstable. And to make it stable, what it will do? It will release 1 electron. Now, if sodium release 1 electron, sodium cannot release the electron automatically. You have to apply some amount of energy. Without energy, sodium cannot release electron. So when you apply some amount of energy, and that energy is called ionization energy, when you apply the ionization energy to sodium, energy means nothing, you can heat the element. When you heat, it will gain the energy and when it gain that amount of energy, then 1 electron will release from sodium and sodium become positively charged. When some atom release 1 electron, it become 1 plus. If it release 2 electron, it become 2 plus, like that, and 1 electron is released from the atom. So that is why if you want to remove some electron, then it requires some amount of energy, which is called ionization energy. So in case of carbon also, if carbon has to release 4 electron, then you have to supply some amount of energy, then the 4 electron will release. But in case of carbon, the energy required is very high, and that is why that much amount of energy you cannot supply to the atom, and that is why there is no possibility to release 4 electrons from carbon. So if someone asks you why carbon cannot release 4 electrons, then your answer should be, in case of carbon the ionization energy is very high, that's why it cannot release 4 electrons. So since it cannot release 4 electrons, that's why what it will do, it will gain 4 electrons. Now how it will gain 4 electrons? Suppose one electronic configuration is like this, 2H7, the atom is suppose X, it contains 7 electrons in its valence shell, that's why the configuration is not stable. So when it will become stable? When it gain 1 electron. So when it gain 1 electron, after gaining it becomes negatively charged, I mean it produces anion, and when it produces the anion, configuration becomes stable, 288. So when the configuration goes to stable, then it releases one energy, automatically it releases one energy after gaining the electron, and this energy is called electron gain energy. If the electron gain energy is high, I mean if high amount of energy is released, the atom will gain the electron easily. If the releasing amount is low, that means the atom do not have more tendency to gain the electron. In case of carbon, the electron gain energy is very low. Experimentally these are obtained. The electron gain energy value for carbon is very low, and that is why carbon have no tendency to gain the electron. So that is why carbon neither release 4 electron nor it will gain 4 electrons. Why it cannot release 4 electron? Due to high ionization energy. Why it cannot gain 4 electron? Due to low electron gain energy. So that is why carbon cannot release, carbon cannot gain. So how it will complete the octet? How it will make its electronic configuration stable? So that is why carbon, to complete the octet, so this is your carbon, since it contains 4 electrons in the valence shell, and I think you know only the valence electron take part in bonding formation. The inner shell electron do not take part in bonding formation. Always valence shell takes place in the bonding formation. So these are the 4 valence electron of carbon. What it will do to complete the octet? It will share with other electrons of other 4 electrons of other atom, like this. For example, hydrogen. Hydrogen contain 1 electron. This hydrogen contain 1 electron. This hydrogen contain 1 electron. This hydrogen contain 1 electron. So what carbon will do? Carbon undergoes sharing with the hydrogen electron. I mean carbon will take hydrogen electron, hydrogen will take carbon electron. This is called sharing of electron, and sharing of electron always produce covalent bond. So that is why carbon always produce 4 covalent bond like this. One pair of electron produce one bond, I mean single bond. So like this way, the 4 electrons of carbon shares with another 4 electrons of another atom to complete the octet. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons inside carbon, and like this way it will maintain its octet. I mean it will gain the stable electronic configuration. So carbon always shares with other electrons, and that is why carbon always produce covalent bond. You know there are 2 types of bond, you know, ionic bond, covalent bond. To form the ionic bond, someone has to release electron or gain electron, then it produce cation anion, and by combination of cation and anion they produce the ionic bond. But in case of covalent bond, only the sharing takes place. Since carbon cannot release, cannot gain electron, that is why carbon always undergo sharing of electron, and that is why carbon always produce covalent bond, and that is why it is called tetracovalency. Tetracovalency means, tetra means 4, covalency means covalent bond. I mean carbon always produce 4 covalent bonds like this way. Thank you.